So in the previous class we have seen how to create our React app like by using the commands. Now in today's class we'll be seeing about developing a movie app. So for that we'll be using a URL, that is dummy URLs will be presented, right? API URLs will be using that. That means without using the database, you'll use a dummy URL that is presented online. You can just download that dummy URL. From that URL, you'll be getting all the images, their names, sizes, all those things. We'll be just seeing the API. How to use an API, we'll be seeing that in today's task. Can we start the class for today? Okay, let me open the page. So, opening this in command prompt, and after that I'm going to open this in the Visual Studio Code by just typing code space dot. So you'll be following your first task again, so that you'll get all the React application, and to that React application you'll add few more things like few files. You'll be adding two files, that's all, not more than two files also. By adding those two files, you will be converting our app, that is our React application which we have made as our first task. You will be converting that, and you will be making that into the movie app by just importing the URLs and all. I'll show that to you. We'll discuss about those two files, and also how we can get our API URL. We'll also see that. Okay. So you can see all these things. This is our first task only. Node modules, public folder, src, git ignore, package log.json, package.json, and readme.md. The files that we have added are in the src. We have just added the moviecard.jsx. This is the file that we have, and of course a logo. You have app.js, in which we have modified our code. Okay, all the remaining files are same. Once it is created, you'll go to app.js, you'll modify the app.js, and you create a new file in the src folder, and the name of the file is moviecard.jsx. These two files will be modifying, and this is a logo. You can just copy the logo and save it with the search.svg. You can copy the logo, that's all. So these two files will be discussing about. And yeah, is that clear to you what we are going to do as our task? Okay. Now, so if you see app.js will be modifying. So this is our app.js after modification. So we'll be importing two hooks, use state and use effect. So before that, what I'll do is first let me run this. The same way, go to the terminal, select the new terminal, and once the path is displayed, you can just type npm start so that this gets executed. You can just type npm start and click enter. So that this file gets executed. Meanwhile, let us discuss about the code. So you can see we have imported two hooks, use state and use effect from the React, and we have also imported this moviecard.jsx file and also this search.svg icon, and of course our CSS. If you want to add any CSS, you can also add that. And this is our dummy URL. So that is, you can just go to the browser and you can just type omdb API key. Type that. So you can just go to the first link that is available. Inside that it will be asking you for your credentials like your email. Go to free, select email, and also the use first name last name something like that. Click on submit. So that if you click on submit, you will be getting an email. Okay, once you open that email, let me show you the email how that will be looking like. In that email you will get two links. Once you click submit by giving your first name last name, the use and the email, you will be getting an email to that mail that you have given, and that will be OMDB. So here you will be getting an email which is OMDB. So you can see the mail. It will be like this. You will be getting two links here. First you have to click on the second link to activate your URL. Once you click on that, you will be getting your link is activated. Because I have already activated it, I'm getting like this. But if you click on that link, you will be getting your link is activated. After that, you can copy this and you can use this in your application like this. Okay, is that clear to you how to use the how to get your API URL? Okay, so not only this particular API URL, you will be having many API URLs like this which are freely available. You can use any of those things. And yeah, so after that, here I'm using use state hooks for the sake of maintaining the search information, and use effect hook to get the data from the data that is presented. For example, here initially I should get some data, right? So initial data is Superman. I'm giving Superman, so that initial data whatever I will be getting, that means initial movies, by default there will be Superman. If I modify here, you will be getting some whatever the things that you give, they will be defaultly presented once you open. And after that, here I'm using an asynchronous function, so that you have to wait. Generally JavaScript functions, they are synchronous, one after the other it gets executed, but here I'm making that to asynchronous because you have to wait until this function is executed. So you have to wait until you fetch the API URL. So you'll be giving the title, right? Until that title is fetched from the API URL, you have to wait. So that is the meaning. And once you fetch the data, you will be displaying that in the JSON format. You will be getting that, and because of the use effect hook, you will be displaying all those things. And in the return, whatever the thing that you are placing is all the design. You can see the divs and the class names, they are written for the sake of CSS. And yeah, so initial placeholder, you will have search for movies. You have an image in which I am just including an icon which is search icon. So you can see I have imported the icon, and when you click on that, then the search movies, which is a use effect hook, gets executed, and you'll get all the movies that are presented. And here you have container, so you are displaying the things that are presented in the movies, right? So you need a container, and in that container I'm including the movie card.jsx file. Whatever the things that are presented in the movie card.jsx file, all those things will be presented there. And if you give some things which are not presented in the database, that is in that particular URL, then you will get no movies found. Yeah, this is the app.js file that we have, and the next file is moviecard.jsx. Is that clear to you about app.js file? Okay. And the next one we have is the last file, that is moviecard.jsx. Okay, I have already opened that. So you can see here it is nothing but bringing the data. Whatever is the data that is presented in the API URL, you are bringing that, right? So for that you can see in the movie card we are having all these things, that is IMDb ID, year, poster, type and title. Okay. First initially you will be having a key, that is IMDb ID. So in that you will be displaying the paragraph. In the paragraph you have year, you have poster, you have type and your title, just like displaying how you are displaying this, that's all. That is what you are writing here. If you see the output also, see initially I have mentioned Superman, right? So all the Superman movies you will be getting. These are the movies that you are having. And if you give Batman here, click on search, you will get all the Batman movies. So to maintain the state here, you're using use state hook, and to maintain the movies, you're getting all the movies, right? For that, you're using use effect hook. Okay. And whatever the thing that you, for example, if you use something like comedy search, if it is presented, you'll be getting. See all these things you're getting. If you go something which is not presented, you'll get invalid. No movies found here. So this is the output that is required. And all the remaining files you can see they are the same itself. If you go to js index.js, the same file. Git ignore is the same. If you look at search.svg, it will be having an icon. You can just download the icons from the browser. Whatever icon you want, you can just download that. And app.js we have modified. And in the css you can just add the css of your choice. There's lots of css I have added. You can just minimize, that is not a problem. For the body, whatever is the dot presented here, that means that this is a class name. By tags you can do that, dots, class names, tag names, think whatever you want, you can just style that in the css. I think css is not required to be discussed, so that is the reason I'm just leaving that. And in the public folder also the same things will be presented. Fav icon, index.html. I've already discussed about these things in the previous class, how the React application is executed also. Like initially index.html file, it gets executed first. Once index.html file is executed, what will happen? The index.js file, you'll be having a dot root that is called here, and once it is called, you will be executing app.js file. And what are the thing that is presented in the app.js file for us now, so that is being executed. And in the app.js also we are calling this one. If you see here in the app.js, we are calling this sorry, we are calling this one movie card. So in the container we are displaying all those things, so that is the reason. So in the movie card, what are there, you have a year, poster, type, title, we are bringing all those things and we are displaying all those things in the container. If you see that, you can understand. When you click search, see you have title, you have type which is movie, series or something, you have year, you have poster, all those things. Okay, so we are bringing all those things. And yeah, so this is your task. So is everything clear to you about the task? Okay, so if you are having any doubts regarding the task, you can ask me. You no need to use the same API URL. You can just explore the API URLs that you know. You can just use whatever you want and you can build your task. Okay. This is just to make you know about the API URLs and how we can perform like data, all those things. We can bring all the data, right? The API URLs. Your voice is not audible for me. You can just type. Yeah, you have to add the logo movie.js and also modify the app.js file. Okay. Any other doubts? Okay, then, so this is for today's class. We'll meet in our next class. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, then you can take leave from today's class.